Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Hey, raise it up. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up. North side, raise it up. South side, raise it up. East side, raise it up. West side, raise it up. Raise it up, raise it up, raise it up, raise it up, raise it up. North side, raise it up. South side, raise it up. East side, raise it up.
And yeah, be outside.
Raise it up, raise it up, raise it up, raise it up, raise it up.
Hey loves, hey loves, hey loves. My name is Wyann. I also go by Y, and this is another incredible episode of Raise It Up Y, the podcast. We're coming at you the last Thursday in the month of April and my birth. Hello. In an episode we are calling Permission Over Proof. I want to take this moment to say Raise It Up Y is where OGs kick game to real ones only. Raise it up. When we say we're raising it, we are raising up your self-awareness, your vibration, and your capacity for love, which is just knowledge. And as we do that, I also want to make sure that I acknowledge love culture in all of its forms over social media, on AMP, Instagram. Even though we're not necessarily doing the lives on Clubhouse anymore, we still have a large presence over there. So if you do like the app Clubhouse, we do have a house for you all to be able to go on to and find other loves. I just want to say thank you to everyone who is providing me their non-refundable time and energy by allowing me as a podcaster and the show of a podcast right there on YouTube. Thank you to all my onlooking loves. Respect and love to you. I do my makeup and my hairs is just to make sure y'all have something nice to look at. Boomer did it, and the Yarders have given me one of my birthday gifts, and I really love this little get up that I have on with the Y logo over the left titty. Hello. As all of the loves run to go look on YouTube. No, but love to onlooking loves as well as to listening loves on any of the platforms where you can consume podcasts. I'm just thankful. I feel thankful for y'all. I feel thankful for another lap around this sun. I feel good. I feel happy. And with that, I think I want to get us almost immediately into this episode. And if anyone is new here, you will learn that I am a therapeutic edutainer. And as a therapeutic edutainer, we're going to get into some grounding right now. And the grounding, I'm shaking the table, huh? But the grounding for time, this is where, as the therapy side of me is speaking, of course, I let everyone know that we're bringing all of us into this space. You ever notice how sometimes you can be in a room and your mind is still in your room? That's because you're usually, as humans, we are usually kind of wherever we've last actualized ourselves. So by the technique of grounding, we bring ourselves into the present. We bring ourselves into the present moment. I believe in 2021, I could have sworn that's when it was. I actually made that the topic for my birthday month that year, which was the present is a present. It's a gift. All of this stuff is a gift. This whole life thing, it's a real big gift. And that's what we tend to do here on the podcast is help everyone realize that as you are living your gift, goodness gracious, I hope that when and while you're doing that, you're having the best time of your life. So if you're not, hopefully you can listen to this broadcast and we can help raise your spirits, raise your awareness, raise your vibration, and help you go up. All right? So, grounding. Take a moment to be here with me. Close your eyes if you'd like. Hear my voice. Feel my feet. Nope, feel your feet. My feet are fine. They're in some Uggs right now. Feel your feet. Wiggle your toes. And if you feel silly enough, why don't you touch your nose? You're just doing that because you're recognizing that you're here. Breathe a breath in. Blow a breath out. Do that again. In through your nose if you can. Out through your mouth. Just take a moment to own this miracle we call life, that you are breathing and winning just by living right here in this life, just by spending time with my voice right now. You're investing into your betterment. I hope that while you're sitting with that, you feel proud. And let's go up like this mosquito just did. Oh, mosquito, I will get you. If anyone doesn't know, there was a whole I, I smacked the shit out of us. I told you this earlier, right? Man, I must have whooped this mosquito's ass that was literally sucking my blood out of my thigh at the moment that I did it. I literally saw him. I said, "Hey, yo, Smizak." That's the exact sound it made, actually. Smizak. And then, all this red on my head. But the whole thing is this. What the whole damn? It got hot for 17 minutes and now it's like a freaking swarm of them. But a few things going on, ladies and gents. One, I'm kind of stuffy and I'm not so happy about it. But I was telling Onette, I'm choosing vanity over I'm choosing vanity over sanity because if I start to blow my nose, I can't tell what this makeup is going to look like. And then we're going to have to go take the whole thing off and I'm going to have to do things again. And I'm not willing to do none of that. How about that? Hello? How about that? So, I hope you deal with the difference in my voice and the little bit of stuffiness. It's because last week, which was my birthday on the 13th, happy birthday, Wyann, it was 56 degrees as the high. And 1 week later, today was 86. Surprise. And the low of the night is not even going to go back down to 56. It was a very, very quick, very, very abrupt change in weather. And yeah, this is how Wyann's body responds when Los Angeles decides, you know what, we outside and just does whatever the hell it thinks it's gonna do. So now that you've learned a bunch about the West Coast that you may not have desired to know, I want to get in to this beautiful episode. And I am dedicating this episode to one of my birthday twins. Excuse me, I know that's not like the best sound ever, I know, but my bad. So my homeboy at John Connor Music, JonConnor Music, John Connor Music, I met working with Dr. Dre from 2014 till now. And meeting him was such a vibe because his demeanor was so positive and high vibrating and just the biggest smile and the biggest heart in the room whenever you see him. Um, I could think about meeting him in 2014 and I'm smiling. If you're an onlooking love, then you're seeing this. I just smiled a mile, man. And talent, good God, it's not even fair. One of the dopest freestylers that I know, but he can rap anybody under a table. And if you don't believe me, you can go look at the Compton album. He is all over that. Amazing, amazing, amazing young man. I dedicate this episode to my twin because uh, all of this is in this break it down section of the podcast, by the way. If you don't know, if you're new here, the podcast has about 5 segments. Every episode, we only hit on 3, just to keep, a juggling effect of different things happening. So today we're going to do a break it down, a raise them up, and a high why. The break it down that we're doing right now for John Connor is where we discover, uncover, and highlight the genius that already exists within hip hop culture. My twin, let me tell it, is one of those gems, one of those unmarked gems of genius here in this culture of hip hop. Uh, we're celebrating 50 years of hip hop. So again, you're gonna see this hip hop raised me book over my right shoulder. Uh, I gotta, I got some more hip hop inspired things in mind to share, but uh, my twin John happened to find himself on our birthday, his 38th birthday, in a hospital room, not just a hospital room, in an emergency room, and what I thought was interesting when I went to check in on him and check up on him, just as I do all my twins, I have a few birthday twins. Al Green is one of my birthday twins. I didn't hit him up though. Hello? I don't have Al Green's number, by the way. But, anyways, John Connor posted his hospital bracelet, and I immediately called him. He did not return the call, but he did text, and he said, "Twin, I'm just, recovering, but happy birthday. I hope you enjoyed everything. Oh, twin, I'm so proud of you." This man starts to big me up, and he just posted himself with hospital gear on. And I'm like, okay, twin, I love you. Thank you. Happy birthday to us. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What the whole hell? What's going on with you? And the longest story short, mind you, go to his Instagram at John Connor, JONCONNOR music, John Connor music, if you want to see the full story. Basically his body gave out. His body gave out on him due to exhaustion. If my twin is anything like me, we're both workaholics. I know that I turned 41 going to the NAMM convention with my family. And since the 13th of April, it is currently breaking the fourth wall Earth Day. It is no o'clock in the morning, 2:14 in the morning on Earth Day. And I have not stopped working. Every single day since I have turned 41, I have been working. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not upset with it because I have a great privilege to love. I'm talking about love what I do. I edutain, I uplift, and I help people in a myriad of ways. And because I love what I do, doing what I love never feels like work, which is great. However, I think that my twin John Connor and how his 38th birthday in 2023 kind of showed up, how he showed up, how it showed up, how the experience happened. I think that's more of the evidence of what I want to highlight here in this break it down, uncovering the genius in hip hop culture. Ladies and gents, don't need hip hop to tell you this, but let hip hop tell you this. You have to take care of the person that is fulfilling the persona. And I know my twin, he takes care of himself. Taking care of yourself doesn't only look like eating every 4 to 6 hours, getting at least 7.5 to 9 hours of sleep for optimal health for the body. eating something green at every meal, eating at least 3 colors per meal. A part of supreme taking care of the person also includes things like rest, things like mental rest, things like gifting yourself 15 minutes to meditate, an hour in the front of your day to just be with yourself and not touch your phone. Giving yourself a little time to listen to Raise It Up Why for 15 minutes every week until the next month comes and the new episode comes out, because at least this is a piece of some non corny positivity programming that allows you to recharge you. I was telling a classroom somewhere, I've been in a lot of them lately, virtually and physically teaching. Um, I was letting people know there are a lot of times in this life where people will not only not celebrate you, they will celebrate not celebrating you. Or when they relish you, it will be during your downfall. And when you're in your highest spaces with the most reason to be celebrated, people will go missing. People will be silent. Sometimes people don't know how to take you when you're in your wellness and you're doing good. Most people vibrate on low levels. And because they vibrate on low levels, they only know how to connect with you when you're down. Raise It Up Why feels like my relationship with my twin, John Connor. We generally only connect with one another because we're feeling over the moon amazing. We're investing into one another, just hitting each other with an I love you for no damn reason, seeing how we can assist whatever the other is doing because life is just that good. Not that good because things are happening well for us, but we're just so thankful to be well in this. And when my twin couldn't exist in that wellness with me during our birthday, I think it did something for me. It did something to me. I don't know if it did something for me. It did something to me. And I told him that I was going to dedicate this episode to him. And it was at that point, I think I might have sent him a voice message. And he voice messaged me back and said, Twin, this is the most interaction I've had with people right now. This is the most positive interaction I've had. Thank you. Just thank you. And why I'm bringing up taking care of the person versus the persona is not because my twin wasn't taking care of himself. It's more about how society was taking care of my twin. Watch this. I don't know how it'll look at the time that you all hear this broadcast. But if you go to my twin's Instagram page, or had went on his birthday, the source wished John Connor a happy birthday. And for a lot of rappers to be acknowledged by the Source magazine is like a supermodel being recognized by Vogue magazine, like a prestigious Black woman being recognized by Ebony magazine. It means something, okay? So my twin, he gets recognized by the source, and the source is getting all these hits to their page because, of course, they're asking questions like, what's your favorite John Connor song? And people are liking it and retweeting it and giving all the thumbs up and the comments. And they're celebrating my twin, not even on his own page. And they're having all of this banter about how awesome my twin is. Like I say, I don't know how his Instagram will look when you go look, but how it looked the day that we each finished a lap around the sun on April 13th, that was the first pinned thing on his wall. And the second pinned post on his wall was his hospital bracelet with a long, thorough explanation about the abysmal care, air quotes around care, that he didn't receive at his local hospital in Flint, Michigan. Um, it was the jarring juxtaposition of seeing the accolades of John Connor music and the human vulnerability of my twin, John Connor, that inspired this particular Break It Down. Leaving this section and this segment of the pod, I just want to let everybody know all of your favorite rappers are real men and women, or however they identify. All of us, all of your favorite influencers on Instagram and personalities on social media or mass media, however you look at it, all of us are real people behind whatever we're deciding to show you. I'm not saying it's your responsibility to care about the real us, but I at least just want to put this out there to remind you that there is a real us. And in all of the demands for music or the demands for more content, uh, more uh, productivity, more anything, and all the demands for more, there's a whole lot going on in the heads and in the hearts and in the spirits of your favorite accounts. Um, and I'm not saying you have to do anything different. I just want to call that to attention and remind people that the person and the personas are different. And without proper attention paid to the person, many of your favorite personas will cease to be. So I just wanted to give everybody that so you have the option to choose how you respond and behave to a lot of what you see in media today. This is happening to be something positive, but even the controversial stuff, the Will and the Jadas, the Will and the Chris Rocks and the Big Slaps and the uh, uh, people with court cases, whether somebody's a snitch and who is real and if that person's a hoe or all of these things. We talk about people like they're not real. We talk about people who happen to be more famous or infamous than the average person like they don't bleed. And I'm not saying that all of your favorite people in front of a camera are upstanding, kind, or good. But I am saying that regardless of what they are, you can be good. You have that choice. And as I'm sitting here 8 days in to this new year of my life, I just thought that was a very important point to start this podcast off with. And twin, I'm going to send you this episode and I hope that it makes you smile and feel proud that you get to hear your name from a voice that you love, a stuffy voice that you love. I know I sound crazy right now because I'm not even breathing through my nose. It's, I feel like I feel like, what do you think? I have my medicine in my room. Yeah. I got my water right here in my top drawer on the right of the dresser. It's the sinus max stuff. Yeah. So I hope everybody's listening in love culture and otherwise can recognize that the dedication is real, man. Rain, sleet, shine, or snow. I say I'm gonna give y'all a podcast. Y'all getting this motherfucking podcast. Hello. But moving on. Raise them up. Okay. We're doing a raise them up. Raise them up is where I edutain. I do my therapeutic edutainment and I present you all concepts that uh I present you all didactic comments and concepts from my fun entertainment / therapeutic brain. So it's where all of my circles get to concentrically dance around and create some dope content for you. So uh, this is where we raise them up. This is what we do. And I meant to say that so you could get the time stamp too. Yeah, because I took the other one when we had first sat down. So a real G. I'm just take it to the head like that. How about that? And we back. Let's go. I got the unique and amazing opportunity to teach a class at USC on Tuesday night. That's why we moved Love Tuesdays to Wednesday this week. And on Thursday morning at 9:00 for me, at least, I was virtually teaching in a classroom in North Carolina. So shouts out, first of all, to Jay Deal and Tyler Bunsey. These are the professors of the class. Well, these are the people who invited me as the professors to their own classes. When I got to USC, there was also Dr. Sean. What's up, Dr. Sean? Uh, and I got to speak to a bunch of USC budding scholars about the commercialization of hip hop. And thank you, boo. Thank you, boo. In the commercialization of hip hop, we discussed some really awesome topics. Since we have not been here on the pod, well, let me say it differently. When we're on the podcast, we're doing like the lecture side of the things that Wyann does, right? So if you've never been to a love lounge, you're actually not getting the full experience of this podcast. In case anyone is confused, love culture is all of the folks who support this podcast. If you're listening right now and you have love in your hearts, you're probably a love. Love culture does three things. One, grounds itself by listening to Raise It Up Why the podcast. Two, they come to weekly study labs where we practice a lot of the content that we spew out in a positive way here in this podcast. Those are called love lounges. And when they interact with other loves and other wise people in love lounges, they do so with love and respect at the helm and when they go. So we say we lead and we leave with love, right? Always love and respect. That's number two. Number three thing that makes you a part of love culture is that we do good for no good reason on and off social media. So I usually say that on the love lounges, rather. I usually say that in the love lounges on the various social medias. So I'm not sure that I've ever said it right here on the pod, actually. I don't think so. Okay, all right, cool. All right, cool. This is good. Unification. Hey. Hey 41. No, but as we do these things, uh I like to bring everybody to this central and localized place because what we talk about here is a huge catalyst for what we end up talking about in love lounges. However, sometimes in the love lounges, we do things like even remark on pop culture. So the most like recent thing that shook up love culture was talking about Ciara's dress from uh the Oscars 2023. Um the big divide in love culture was, from what was reported, what Ciara wore. Is that dying cat again? Lord have mercy. I don't know if they can hear that. That just sound like ow, ow, ow. Okay, anyways, we think we're just, like getting past something when we do. Anyways, we talked about this dress, but this is why love culture conversations are so outstanding. And this is going to relate to the talks at USC and North Carolina in just a second. Um, we talked about a dress. The talk about a dress on a beautiful celebrity woman ended up carrying us into conversations about the dynamic between married couples, what Christian men thought was acceptable from a woman. I'm not singling anyone out. I am reporting what actually happened. So this is not pointed conversation. This is what happened. All right. Uh, Not only that, and we're back. So yeah, that was just a quick intermission. I needed to breathe. So hello. Um, I bring up everything about love culture and the conversation about Ciara's dress because in talking about something that seemed so trivial or not as important as a deep concept that we would maybe find here in the love lounge or in the love lounge or here on the podcast, uh talking about a celebrity, a beautiful woman's celebrities, a beautiful female celebrity's dress led us into conversation about gender roles, what masculinity looked like, who respects certain types of personalities in gentlemen, what a Christian woman was supposed to be and or do as a wife, uh, and why this relates to what we spoke about during the commercialization of hip hop in USC was because one of the hot topics that the professors wanted me to cover was about how hip hop currently has an influx of ladies. Ladies of hip hop is what I choose to call everyone um, that's rapping right now, and what we're noticing is those same types of concepts that come up in a love lounge discussion from a celebrity's dress end up coming up in this USC classroom as we're talking about the commercialization of hip hop. So I asked the class, what do they think of the images that they see of ladies within hip hop? And I got a wide range of responses from self abasing to empowered, independent to sexual. none of these things necessarily are false. It's all what the individual interprets. That's the beauty of art. Nobody is right. Nobody is wrong, right? But where this becomes a big thing is when I was speaking about what the ladies, especially of hip hop, end up getting seen as, just like we talked about in the Love Lounge with Ciara's dress. Now you have to start to call into question a whole lot of quote unquote norms that we've, as Americans, expressed historically since the beginning. How did America start? Religious freedom. Some European folks wanted to practice religion their way. So when they came here, their ways were the right quote unquote ways, and everybody else was savage. I don't care who you were a savage. And if you didn't believe like we believed, then you weren't even a human in many cases. Wasn't these ain't they the same niggas that did slavery? Right. So I was talking to the class about the irony in what the topic was and hip hop in general, saying, I've seen America relish at crucifying two types of people, like big time. The most apparent, even in today's uh, society and ranging back as far as a lot of us can remember, is the black man. I don't know if you guys knew, if anybody is new here or you're a listener from abroad, but a black man's hanging, and not only a black man, because if you tried to run away from slavery, even if you were a woman, you could get hung as well. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying in this country, when they would have public executions of black people, it was actually a family event. People love watching the demise of black men historically, black women as well. More often, publicly, you will see a black man's death. Now, with social media, please, if you started to look at, just for everyone who likes to have the equal game going, yes, I understand that black women can also be these victims. I'm talking about the overwhelming number of who you see and how it's normalized. Black men, period. But there was another point in time. It's called the Salem witch hunts. When white women started trying to have brains, started trying to have their way of practicing religion, or they thought they had some gifts or whatever they thought, these white women started speaking up and their men started burning them at the stake and calling them a witch. So when you get the opportunity to crucify a woman for doing certain things, what you need to understand is there is a whole history, a legacy of historic data that backs up. Oh, we can for sure crucify. One of the first police officers that actually got a criminal conviction for killing a black man was who? A white woman police officer. Hello. Hello. If like one of the easiest, like one of the first and easiest convictions, you know what I'm saying? Was the white woman before Darren Wilson. And we all saw what he did to George Floyd. And everybody sat there like, well, maybe he was, you don't understand. Maybe it was, huh? She didn't get none of that. She got it, she was out of here. Cause they're willing to give that up, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, just putting that out there. But as we were talking about women of color, black women in particular, and hip hop, um, when people we're talking about the negative sides of all these lady rappers, uh, I just wanted to keep at the forefront, there are the Ill Camilles and the Rhapsodies and the Tierra Wax and I mean, Lyric Joneses. Like there are some other ladies, the Wyann Vons. There are other ladies that represent hip hop and don't represent what y'all are talking about. But if we don't commercially see those ladies, then the question becomes why? Because these ladies aren't the ones that own the outlets to make us or call us marketable. We've been doing Raise It Up Why, non-corny positive content about hip hop for the past 5 years. You hear a lot of other platforms that maybe cover different types of content go further. And we all know why. It's because sex sells, negativity sells, drama sells, Black death is almost as good as showing a nipple. It can get you viral. So I bring all of this up because leaving the USC classroom and going to the NC virtual classroom, I asked those young ladies, what woman, I know that we all party to any songs that we party to. It was only the young ladies in that particular virtual classroom. Only young ladies. And I asked, which of these ladies that you commercially know and that we've been discussing, and everyone likes to defend, oh, it's their freedom, it's this and that. I said, which one of these ladies represents you well? Which one of these ladies do you, when you see them on TV, you be like, I could see myself in her. I could see a part of how she raps. What she says represents a large part of me. What lady? And all the ladies that are popular, no one said that they see themselves in. I'm like, well, that's odd. If you're all young Black women and you don't see yourselves represented well in any of these women, then who's pushing these figures to y'all? Don't you think that's something we should maybe think about, at least consider? And I put that out there and I say that to y'all because y'all being all the ones, all the loves and people on looking and listening here on the podcast, I give that to you all just because these questions are the types of questions that if you don't ask them, what you'll do is attempt to hold the person that you see in front of you responsible for the reason they're in front of you. And the challenge is this. If, let's just say, a good girl rapper, I'm just calling her a good girl rapper. That's a new rapper. Her name is A Good Girl. And we have another rapper. Her name is A Bad Bitch. Good girl can look like bad bitch, can have the same amount of support behind her, and they can be the same complexion, they can be the same thickness, they can be the same, all of these different things, like anything that you can think of, they can be the same. What I am telling you is that rapper Bad Bitch will get a click from a consumer. What consumer? Any consumer. Just mass media consumption. Bad Bitch will get the click before Good Girl. Why? If you are not paying attention to what you're putting in front of you in your timeline every single day, what I am telling you is that your timeline is programming you. So by muscle memory, you will click on Bad Bitch before you click on Good Girl. And that happens before the rapper bad bitch or the rapper good girl ever get a deal. It happens before they ever come across your timeline. It's based on what you have allowed yourself to be programmed to be seen as quote unquote normal. My hip hop, what was normal is being able to see the diversity of Moni Love to Little Kim, Trina to Yo Yo, Rage to MC Light, everything in between. We had a little bit of everything. I got to choose whether I was going to party to Foxy Brown or heal my heart to Lauryn Hill. I got to choose if I wanted to spit like Raw Digger or if I wanted to be swaggy like Ladybug. I got the choice. I got the choice because there were choices there. So at the end of the USC class, apparently there's a new video with Ice Spice and Nicki Minaj. And did you see it? Oh, okay. But you know it's there. Have you heard of it? It's out. Okay, okay. Um, and they put it on. And as they put it on, I'm looking at the hot pink, looks like bubble gum. I think of Barbie, at least from my day or whatever. And the third thing, I thought bubble gum, pink, number one. Number two, I saw Barbie, pink. And number three, I was like, whoa, isn't that the kind of pink that was really prevalent in the WAP video? So it made me think of Cardi and Meg. So now you look at Ice Spice, Nicki Minaj, Cardi, and Meg, and you see references to girls is toys, girls is candy, which is gum, and you see 4 grown women uh, who are on all fours at times with less clothes on than more. Each of those women look different. If you just Ice Spice, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and Meg Thee Stallion, all of those women appear and look different. But when you start to assess the similarities, you're like, okay, how in all this difference do I still feel and look the same, or I catch the same vibes? You feel the same energy and you still don't feel represented. These are the types of conundrums that we find ourselves in. And this is not a indictment on any of the 4 artists I just spoke on. I'm just giving you the analytical, the therapeutic, metacognitive, bigger overarching viewpoints of what, when we're in our very creative phases as artists, what we can tend to do is, nah, but I just get to be me. I just want to be me. And it's like, yeah, you do get to be you and you do want to be you. And every action has an equal and an opposite reaction. That's not anyone trying to indict you. That's physics. Take it up with Isaac Newton, right? Like, so these are just the types of things that are being discussed. And I wanted to review it here in my birthday episode because it's the birthday week that I've lived so far, being this grown for 8 days now. And I know I didn't get to invite anyone to any of these classrooms. So sometimes in love culture, you guys like to hear or see what is going on behind closed doors. And I wanted to bring you into some of the classrooms. Lots of observations and lots of putting things on your plate and just giving you food for thought, things to chew on. There's no good, bad, or in between about any of this. It's just intelligent discussion. where people can have different viewpoints, but we can still listen to what people think. That's all. That's all. And then in our high why, where you all get to submit questions and I get to respond to them. Um, this is kind of less of a high why and more of an acknowledgement of a beautiful young lady I met earlier today, actually. Her name is Vanessa, uh, at VXOXOA. And I told you I would do this, by the way. So I hope she gets, well, she will get this. I'm going to send this episode to her as well. But, you know, we talked about a lot earlier today, Vanessa and I did. But one of the big things I gave her came up recently in a couple of the love lounges that we've done online. And it's also a part of this stage of my life, this phase of my life, which is my loves. If you need someone to tell you you are great before you recognize your greatness, you are hustling backwards. You are playing the game wrong. You are stepping on your own product, bro. You're not doing it right. You're hustling upside down. Trust me. Um, in my life, I have accomplished so many things. I've earned a lot of stuff and I've been a lot of places. With all that being said, I believe personally that the only reason that a lot of the opportunities I've enjoyed were afforded to me is because I already knew I was great before any of these great opportunities found me. As a result of just understanding, knowing, exploring, and deciding I was great, more greatness was the natural consequence. I attracted and got to experience great things. Um, Very interesting being on AMP in the Love's Lounge and speaking with a lot of love culture over there. And uh, a love came in and said, "You need to release more music." And I said, "Really?" And they said, "Yeah, we were looking for more of your stuff. Not only just looking for more of your stuff, but um, as we were playing a lot of the things and telling other people about what you do on this app, I actually had a question. What is your favorite project you've ever been a part of?" And I ended up skating through all these projects that I've been allowed to be on. I had the privilege to serve the artists. Um, and I ended up telling them that To Pimp a Butterfly was my favorite. However, just in that quick process of jogging my brain to decide what was the greatest project I'd been a part of, there were only greats to choose from. And as there were only greats to choose from, it just kept me reiterating to the loves that were on at the time in that love lounge, like, yo, I never waited for a motherfucker to tell me I was great. I know that people can sing better than me. I know that there are people who can write better than me. And I know there's people that have fatter asses and smaller waists than me. That's great. You know what I'm saying? But everything I just named is a part of me, a piece of me. Me, the whole me. Wyann Vaughn. She decided she was great around 13 years old. Can't tell you why, and I can't tell you how, but I can pinpoint it back, and I know that that's when. It's one of the reasons why 13s means so much. I'm also a 13 baby, April 13th. Um, but I just know that 13 was such a year. All right. And I think I had the privilege of having a community, a family, a school, a lot of reinforcement to not only remind me that I was great, but to place mirrors in front of me so I never didn't see what they saw in me. And love culture is that. Let me tell it. Love lounges are that. Let me tell it. Um, if no one has ever told you that you were great, if no one has ever allowed you the space to be your brand of great, if you never thought that you were as important as to study yourself, but you have degrees about everybody and every other subject, please let this be a wake-up call. This is just another thing that was on my heart for this year, this 8 days of this new year of my life. This is just another lesson that was on my heart, man. You are the greatness you're seeking in this world. Whatever you're looking to attract, you're only looking to attract it because you already have conceived or recognized it in your mind some way, somehow. So, what you want in this life more of is you. You are great. Some of you know it. Some of you hear that and don't know how to take it. And some of you allow these words only to come towards you or at you, but you don't accept that. And that's okay too, because that's your right. That's your right. But what I need everybody here to know, under the sound of my voice or looking on, is that you, when you encounter a person who seemingly doesn't accept or allow you to be great, what I'm letting you know now is that individual is only doing that because they have agreed with themselves every day they wake up that they are not allowed to be great. And for a person who doesn't allow themselves to be great, trust me and believe me, they're going to make your greatness a living hell. At least if you want them to acknowledge it. This is why, ladies and gents, you are tasked with the burden of not just discovering, but also acknowledging and then feeding, watering, and nurturing your greatness every damn day. And that's going to dovetail us into Wyann's words of wisdom. And as we get into these Wyann's words of wisdom, I'm going to clap because I'm going to blow my nose. And we back. Look, right there, just like that. Wyann's words of wisdom today. Short and sweet, man. Permission over proof. It's the exact title of this particular episode. Go more places where you feel your permission to be great rather than places where people require your proving that you are great. Go more places where you have permission, not where you are asked to prove. Oh, and this feels so challenging to me because here I'm an educator. And when you come to school, you take these classes, we give you information, and then you get what? You get a test, exams. Because you want to know why? We need you to prove to us that the information stuck. Own it, you have a degree. Wyann, She has a degree. You can think of at least one course, if not multiple, where right now today, you can't tell me hardly any of what the fuck you learned. Sometimes that's math. Let's not bring up the statistics. Let's not bring that up. Okay. If you don't bring up statistics, I won't bring up chemistry. Um, these are the things that I know. We spoke about this a few episodes ago, but I feel like it's worth mentioning again because it's my birthday and I do what I want to. Hello. There are 3 ways to build self-confidence, 3 ingredients that one of the TED Talk speakers brought up. One was have community. Community allows you to be around people who do number 2. P, give you permission. They give you permission to 3, be curious. Be curious so that you can explore the who and the what of not just who you are, but what things are around you. You get to see how you relate. There are people who love coming to my classes. Onette, this year makes 10 years that she and Onette, Q and you. These motherfuckers, these beautiful students, have known me for 10 years. I can let them tell you when they would have classes, I think Cash even came and taught in the class when you were there. You would be in there, Taryn would come and see this. You see him? Did you see that? Where is it? It's near me? Uh-huh. Okay. The mosquito came down, guys. If you're listening, and you're not looking, the mosquito came down. Because it was up there and I was cool while it was right there. Okay, we're just gonna say a prayer. Fuck it. But you would be in my class and we would get people all the time that would come in, drop in, and just sit and just hang. After a while, forget class. What would happen when it was time for Wyann to leave at 4 p.m.? Because all of the students that were done with all of the Mando classes and things would come and talk about all of the things they cared about for an extra 4 hours, almost daily. Almost daily. Kids that you couldn't make come to class, some of them. Because not like we had all the A students. You know what I'm trying to say? Like not everybody there was a full-on A student. So there were students that you could not get them to attend 15 minutes of one class would come and have dynamic conversation for 4 hours after all of their classes because they were talking about things that they cared about. By reaching students through things that they cared about, we were able to cover the subjects that they claimed they didn't care about. Onette did not know me when I was a staunch math instructor for Los Angeles Unified. But when I tell you, I never had an empty class. And I know you know this because you saw this for years and years and years. And I have no fucking reason to lie. But these classes, my math classes, I would teach them like relationship classes. And because we would make a math concept relate to something like your worth And whether the person you were with was acknowledging it or not, based on whether you were acknowledging it or not. But we were talking about, let's just say, integers, or we were talking about, oh, I don't know, what is it, slope intercept form? You know what I'm saying? Like we would be talking about the most abstract things, but we would make it relate to something that people do every single day. And I am telling you, that's the whole idea behind the Raise 'em Up section. That is the idea behind edutainment. Entertainment is the draw, but the education is what makes it stick, right? And I can say that all day. I'm not I'm almost, it's like someone could say I'm giving y'all the sauce. No, I'm not, because teaching is an art form. I can tell y'all everything that I'm doing, but the difference between today's rap music and how AI can easily imitate it is the fact that the humans were imitating one another for so long that you taught the computer. So yeah, you're easily duplicatable. A lot of you, I haven't known the difference between a lot of the young artists for quite some times. People started all dressing the same, getting the same types of stylists, quite apparently, using the same jargon, putting the same monikers on each of your names, same tones, no one using their actual authentic, as unique as a thumbprint voice, auto tune, Melodyne, and making yourself so robotic, anyways. And now you're scared of AI. Y'all are AI. You made it. Congratulations. Lack of creativity creates a rubric, and a computer is programmed from algorithmic rubrics. Hello. So, when it comes to having an art form in the world of education, you get to explore. You explore people thoroughly, learn their ins and outs. And because you're learning them so well and you're so focused, you get to tailor make lessons from general lesson plans directly to each student. That's, in my opinion, why my classes stayed full. When I'm in a classroom, able to bend and spin the information in ways that allows me to reach people for real, man, that is the epitome of edutainment. And that is the epitome of being allowed to be great. The permission to be great completely accessed. However, when you don't have community, it's hard to have the reflections there to show you your greatness. Therefore, you rarely get the type of permission to practice curiosity, to discover what looks like greatness to you. So you'll notice people who come from more closed off backgrounds, rather than allowing someone to explore themselves to be great, they will dictate that they must act certain ways. There will be uniforms. There will be rules, not commitments. There will be, like I said, uniforms, not art forms. There will be criticism, not feedback. These are the types of things that happen when you live in a society that is siloed by devices that we use every day that are supposed to connect us. You ever go out to go eat and you see, we point it out every time we see it. You go out to eat and you see a family, each person on their phone separately, they are only physically there. No way on God's earth are they together. Sometimes, said this on the one of the stories on when I was talking about working out earlier, and on one of the stories, I says what challenges me is when people don't take the time to work out, it makes me wonder what else are we doing that to? It's like we'll make time for the things that we feel we have to do. And then by the end of our lives, when we're forced to retire and then we don't have to work anymore because that really wasn't it. But all of the sitting fucked up and all of the eating wrong and the sitting in one place sedentary and gaining weight and all of the diabetes or heart disease or cancer that you've developed over all those years, all those little 15-minute walks you didn't get to take, all those little food prep opportunities that you felt like there's just no time because I have to go to work and I have to, all of that comes to meet you now. Your years of neglect are all stored up waiting to dance with you in your golden quote unquote years. And the challenge is, like I said, what are we also doing that to? It's not just working out. Because think about it like this: if you prioritize what you have to do and can't find time for the things that you uh actually need to do for you, like yourself, it's almost like when you're in a relationship with someone and you do all of the things that you have to do. It's like, all right, I know I probably have to listen to her day. I probably have to cook his meal. I probably have to, okay, he hasn't had sex in a minute. I probably have to fuck him tonight. She probably wants some kids. I probably have to knock her up. You start to do that to your marriages though. You're married. These are your partners. And then you start to have fun. You start to desire the people who feel like options. So this is how the married man of 13 years connects more to his side chick than his wife. Because you've been looking at your wife like the job that you've always underperformed at. You just check the boxes. That's it. You live a life of box checking. And then, like the students who wouldn't go to class for 15 minutes but would hang with me for 4 hours, all of a sudden, the same man that is so busy doing everything else that he yells at his wife after he's done all the check marks that he doesn't have any more time to connect with her, he goes out to a cigar lounge, to a gym, to a gentleman's bar, and connects with frivolous women. It's a wild conundrum, bro. But I say all of this because your job needs you to prove you were there. It needs you to prove your competency. It needs you to prove that you were there on time. It needs your proof. It needs you to punch things. It needs you to punch clocks. It needs you to take breaks. It needs you 15 minutes dictating you by time and and you go home and you treat your mandatory relationship like that too. Your fatherhood, your motherhood, your spouse, your all of the have tos, you start and the things that give you permission to be great, you don't even know they exist. You don't know where you have permission to be great because everything you do in your life is for the box, the check, the person, the book, the bills, the kids, the this, the that, and you go to your grave, the biggest mystery never solved, greatest story never told, Flyest book never read. Every year I grow into myself is another year that I am so thankful that I prioritized me giving myself permission to be me over attempting to prove I could be what someone else expected. Every year it gets more pivotal, and every year it reveals itself differently to me. But I can guarantee you, if you're not already giving yourself the opportunities, at least to scratch the surface of who you are, then I can guarantee that the life you're living is not the one that God intended. I know that. It's the one that you're just doing. Human beings, human doings, different things. But that's just what I wanted to get off of my chest. Get off my chest today in my Wyann's words of wisdom. And before I go. My hair is long, yo. Dahoo! My baby girl says sure is, and she got all the hairs, okay? As I'm pulling mine out, why'd I do that? Yay! So, no hair by Quista this time. I just washed this because it was 86 today. And it's not going to stop being 80-something tomorrow. Yay. And it was just time to wash it. But shouts out to Maya Smith, my cousin, CEO and founder of I Love the Do at ILOVETHEDOUX. Today for this look, I washed and conditioned with her B-Girl line. Crazy Sexy Curl. Out this B-Girl. Hello. Okay, B-Girl. Talk about it. This is the honey custards. I clumped my hairs together and did some cute work. Push it for my edges. Let's talk about it. Thank you, my cousin. I love you so much. I'm so proud of everything that you are doing, what you are building over there with my other cousin, Brian. And please support the Do products, Black woman owned and veteran owned. Black veteran owned. Make sure that you all are supporting my cousin. Number 2, make sure that you are shopping at Nobody Jones Boutique in Los Angeles. Look, we just look expensive, she say. Talk about it. Shouts out to at just.rey, Just Ray, for being such a voice of reason in helping me pick out outfits for some performances that I've recently done. I was actually going to wear you all's stuff, and then the Yarders came and gifted me with this outfit right here. But the dope part about this is it goes right along with the beautiful purse that I got from them. And at the NAMM show, this was a huge hit. It is a black cylindrical purse with gold trim with the gold LA on the front of it. It has a strap that comes with it. I can wear it around myself, or I can hold it like a clutch. I feel very feminine when I have it, and it was a huge, big birthday present to myself to get a couple new items. Speaking of birthdays to myself, at Pristine Nails Glendale, spelled all correctly. Yo, can y'all see this? Zelike, tell me if this is in the camera. Is that in the camera? Ooh. Ooh-wee. Oh, yes. Cat's eye, baby. Stiletto nails by our girl, Nancy. But the Pristine Nails Glendale, shouts out to Diane, Lee, Scarlett, all the girls. Yo, I am in love with these nails. I'm like hella feminine now. I haven't played basketball in forever, so boo. However, love those girls. Hey, speaking of this outfit that I didn't get to wear of Nobody Jones, what I am wearing is from the Yarders. Shouts out to @BoomerDidIt, who just came over and gifted me this on the day that we were recording. You can't see the back of it. Maybe we'll take a picture just so they can just see the back of it and everything. But he decked me out in some of my Yarder gear, and at the Yarders, THEYARDERS on Instagram, at the Yarders. My Yarder brother, L7 Hayes, at L7HAZE. Most certainly the number 7, L the number 7 HAZE. Definitely just put out some new music on the 18th of April. I don't know. 18th of February. I'm thinking of Dr. Dre. But the 18th of April, and he got some heat on there. The artist is doing it. CA Said put out something earlier this year at CA Said 95, and I was featured on one of his songs called Pretty Girls. Such a good song to be featured on. And L7 Hayes put out his project and got Boomer singing all over it. Okay, all right. Boomer said, listen, I'm singing. It's what I'm doing. Talk to me nice. Another thing I wanted to shout out, at Dinner Party, DINNERPARTY. It is a super group comprised of all of my brothers, Ninth Wonder, Terrace Martin, Kamasi Washington, and Robert Glasper. Robert is an actual Aries as well, April 6th. But this album has no skips. It just came out on my birthday. Well, 9 p.m. on my birthday, so it came out on Friday the 14th. But still, there's no skips on here. And it has Ant Clemens, it has Aaron Ray, it has, I think his name is Felix, but it's spelled P-H-E-O. Nope. P-H-O-E-L-I-X. Felix. So it's like a fun spelling of Felix, but this dude's voice is amazing and I love it. I love the album. So one of our loves, The Art of Justin, just put up something the other day. He said, what's the last R&B album that you played with no skips? And I said, Dinner Party. Hello. Shouts out to The Art of Justin for no reason. But the final thing, at Raise It Up Y, RAISEITUPWY, rockets up on these hoes, say the loves. Listen, all over social media, wherever you find us, that's the most universal way to get a hold of us. I be giving all the Wyann, Von, I'm like, listen, raise it up, Y. Raise it up, Y. Just go to just go. It'll be fine. We'll all live. Trust me. We'll all live. And listen, when this comes out, which is next week, by that time, I don't know that I'll have the definitive answer on the Love Lounge Live date, but I'm just thinking. I'm thinking of summer. I'm thinking of July specifically. So I'll leave it there. Hip Hop turns 50 August 11th. I feel like August 13th is another viable day to maybe do something, have our own personal celebration on the West. I don't know. I got some ideas. So keep the 13s open. Hello. July and August. Just think. I don't know. It's an idea. So loves. I still can't find my Kate Spade ring that everybody loves. Nobody loves it more than me, but I still can't find it. And I'm working on staying encouraged and positive, but I miss it. However, regardless of whether I have any piece of jewelry on, thank you for your non-refundable time and your non-refundable energy. We, this team that comprises what makes up Raise It Up Y, thanks you so very much. I'm gonna go tend to these sinuses. I apologize for if I don't edit out all the sniffing and stuff like that, because I don't want to mess anything up. So I don't want to like edit and then it'd be like off or whatever. So I'm like, oh no. So, but just know, I really appreciate everybody. And I am looking forward to another beautiful month of love lounges with y'all. Again, at Raise It Up Y if you want to know where all the love lounges are. But join our online community, our safe space online, and allow us to pour some love into you more than once a month. All right? Thank you. Stay real, y'all. Boom! Keep on down. Wow, wow.
Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Hey, raise it up. Hey, raise it up.